Alright. Anyway, we are officially finished with Battle Network time, and now it's more Pokemon time. Uh, how y'all doing? Hope you're all having a good one. I jumped back onto the Pokemon TCG end of this week, uh, seeing a rotation that occurred. We have a standard rotated out a few sets. New set had released a couple weeks back, and the Pokemon TCG Live is like really friendly to just like getting you rolling with whatever deck you want. And so I jumped back on. So main deck, Guard.EXE, rotated out standard. Gotta find a new one. Yeah, I'm playing Chien-Pao right now because this one basically didn't change from rotation. I probably have some more powerful stuff to actually add to it. But there's also like some of the ancient and future stuff I want to play around with and things like that. Let's actually, my God, let's start with the game. I know last time I didn't, last stream I did on Friday, I didn't even like play, I just opened packs. Why am I holding a controller? That's not gonna help me. Yeah, I'm still in Mega Man brain. Alright. So this deck is a water deck. What are you doing in here? Turo, how'd you even get in the deck? I didn't put you in here. So this is a water deck based around two cards, Frigibax and its evolutions, and Chien-Pao. We're gonna be using Nest Ball to go grab our oh, alright. Rolling out the gates, huh? Don't like that Frigibax is in the active. The other half of this deck is Chien-Pao EX, which has, if it's your active Pokemon, search 2 basic energy and put them into play. We definitely want to have the Chien-Pao. I also need a way to get the damn Frigibax out of the active. I guess I can just Turo it, but that, like, slows my game plan down to a crawl. We'll think about if that's the plan. Like, if they have their, okay, they got Buddy Poffin. So Buddy Poffin is VIP pass, but it can't grab big Pokemon. It's the important setup tool. It doesn't let you grab, it grabs specifically, give me the Poffin. 70 HP or less. So you can grab like your little setups, but you can't grab like Radiant Greninja or Chien-Pao with it. You have to grab like bigger stuff, like the bigger stuff with other stuff. Okay, our opponent has everything set up forever. That's very bad. They even have 2 Frigibaxes, so I can't like get a knockout next turn and set up. This is probably pretty bad for us. Oh, and they've got the 2 the Cypher. Yeah, I'm not excited about the state that we're in right now. Because our opponent probably got to D-tutor for, oh boy. Okay, Radiant Greninja's nice. That's a good one. Like, if I knock out this Frigibax, then I don't have... Like, I don't have anything else to do, though. They probably tutored a copy of Irida, not Ia. I think I have to go pick up the Frigibax. This wasn't supposed to be in the deck, by the by. Anyway, hey, Tungsten Ulsters, thanks. Thank you very much for the sub. Okay, what we can do, though, is we can use Radiant Greninja to discard a energy, draw 2. Okay. And I think we just knock out the Frigibax anyway. Like, they have to commit pretty hard to kill our Qianpao if they want to. Whereas, like, we have a energy retrieval. They're on one card. If they tutored for Irida, like, to get to the Frigibax with a rare candy and a search, that's almost their entire hand. Maybe they want the Bibarel. They search for Bibarel and then they draw that. That's probably better, now that I'm thinking about what they could have tutored. I'm going to guess that they tutored Bibarel, and then Bibarel's going to draw them up to 5, and one of those 5 is the second card they tutored, which is going to be a copy of Irida. Ooh, that's a good one to have. We might be able to cut off Frigibax access with that. Specifically, yeah, so Bibarel, draw, and then they're going to play Irida, tutor a Qianpao. If they have 4 energy, they're set. We're going to do the same on our turn. Rare candy, yep. There's Baxcalibur. I should have Ultra Balled and put another Qianpao on the bench instead of holding my hand like this, so that I could swap into a Qianpao. That's actually a mistake. I think we can work around it with Radiant Greninja, but, like, not a correct move. Earthen Vessel. Oh. Alright, you've got a lot of energy at the ready. That's fine. This is discard a card, search 2 energy. Alright, so Baxcalibur has Rain Dance. This is what makes the deck run. Baxcalibur has planning number of energy, and then Qianpao searches 2 energy every turn. So what we're gonna do... Okay. That's nice. I want to kill off their Baxcalibur because I think that ends the game. But I can't. I need to play Irida as my setup here to go tutor a Baxcalibur and the rare candy to get to Baxcalibur. Otherwise, we can't function here. What we can do is we're going to go ahead and retreat Radiant Greninja, put Qianpao up front, and then we get to go ahead and Superior Energy Retrieval. Oh, actually, hold on. We're going to do it this way, because I'm going to Superior Energy Retrieval, discard the Vacuum and this basic energy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we get to go... One, 2, 3, 4. And take our knockout. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 60 per. So, but if we can kill their Baxcalibur, they can't set up again because you can't evolve on the turn you play. So, like, if they just have a Frigibax, then they can't move from there. So if I can get this back into the active with boss's orders and then kill it, Heavy Ball. Heavy Ball is funny. It looks at your prizes and swaps with the prize if there's something there. Okay, they got another Bidoof. So they're playing out cards in their hand just to get Bibarel active. Wow, they're Bidoofing. Oh, it's a different Bidoof. Alright, then they drop a 5. That's Bibarel's text. Bibarel's a good draw engine. Okay, then they get to Irida. Irida is going to search them up another copy of Chien Pao. Oh! What was that? I don't like that. I think that was, I know that was an ace spec. Uh-oh! Switch in one of yours and switch out one of theirs. Ah, that's bad. I believe we've been, stuffed out here. Because we're gonna lose our Baxcalibur. As I said, it's hard to get your Baxcalibur back up, once it's knocked out. We can still try to get theirs, because I can buddy Poffin for a new Frigibax and then Irida for another, Baxcalibur. And I can, like, use boss's orders to stick the, to re-stick their, Baxcalibur in the active and see if that buys us the time we need. The problem is also that they have Bibarel up, so they can, like, draw back up pretty easy. I'm gonna put Radiant Greninja in the active to, like, buy a turn of time here. We're gonna buddy Poffin. This will get us a Frigibax and a Bidoof. And then hopefully we can just use the Frigibax, next turn. So let's go ahead and, I guess, set up for that. We're gonna go ahead and grab our Baxcalibur. We're gonna go ahead and grab our Rare Candy. And then next turn we'll be able to go from there. I'm not gonna play any... Oh. I'll put 1 energy on Chien Pao in case something goes wrong. We can maybe work from there. We'll pass. So we can go to Bibarel. Amazing, after all these years it still comes back to Rain Dance? Yeah. I think we can still win if we knock out their Baxcalibur. Pokestop, that's, I think, mill 3, grab any items. And it's each player. Okay, yep, they have a search. They can't use that, though. They can only use the tool. The Pokemon is useless because it's a water Pokemon and their bench is full. I still think we can do this. It's just going to be tough. They already used their ace spec. The Prime Catcher. This is wildly strong, too. Escape Rope that is actually a gust of wind on top of it. Like, oofa. Talk about a choice. Okay, they're gonna go search their energies, which is the last of their energies. Interesting! We're hiding! Are we sniping a... Okay, we're sniping my Frigibax. Got it. Can't snipe. I guess I should have Ultra Balled for Manaphy for my bench. That probably would have been a... Oh, but then I'm out of, like... Oh, that's a terrible draw. How do I deal with that? We're ultra balling away you. We're ultra balling away energy. We're gonna go get. Yes, because Manaphy has like prevent all damage to be dealt to your bench. I grabbed the Bidoof instead because I want the Bibarel access to also set up her hand. I'm gonna believe in this. This gets me another Frigibax. Frigibax, Bibarel act. Oh. Pull the Baxcalibur out and then Bibarel active. Okay. So Nest Ball. Put Manaphy on the bench. And then next turn I can Irida, and we're good. Okay. This is fine. This is recoverable. This is actually fine. Please believe me. I can't use Pokestop because if I mill, well, if I mill my rare candy, I'm not gonna... If they have their own boss's orders for my Frigibax, I think they can get me. But they also have to have a pretty good, like... Yeah, they have to have all the energy in the world here still. We're not snipeable. We're not... Alright, so are we just going to put 3 energy on Baxcalibur and do a Buster Tail? I suppose we can just do that. Yeah, this actually might be bad for us to deal with because, like, even now... So, if I knock out the Baxcalibur here... so I knocked out the Baxcalibur here. They still have 3 energy on the Qianpao. Or 3 energy, like, 1, 2, 3. Oh, buddy, you gotta watch your deck size. Okay. What did you tutor and draw? You have 3 Bibarels. They have too much energy placed over there. That's annoying for me to deal with. Okay, there's Buster Tail. That puts them to 1 prize left. I can knock out the Baxcalibur, but they still have the Qianpao. Like, I think they've got me. Trying to think what we can possibly do to get out of here. Let's check the deck. Give me all cards, please. Luminous Sign would search for a supporter. Okay. Here's our out. We need to draw into boss's orders and pull in the Qianpao and then knock it out? How do I do that? I have to think. So, in that situation, we don't need Irida because I can't play Irida as a supporter. So we just have to go grab Ultra Ball for Luminion. Luminion V to search the supporter. That's step 1. So Luminion V. Luminous Sign. Search for boss's orders. I can't deck them with Iono, by the way, because they have one... I can get them to 1 card in hand, but that doesn't stop them from killing us on board. Okay, so this is step 1 to our plan for victory. Boss's orders, pull in Qianpao. Then we... play an energy. Super Rod back in the Baxcaliburs because we need more of them in the deck. And the Radiant Greninja? Is this a fine draw? It's like drawing 2. Armarouge. Armarouge, like, I was a card I was playing with, like, Entei and, like, bits like that. Before, with, like, I think when Obsidian Flames came out. Alright. Here we go. Bibarel, you got this? Ah, no! We got the rare candy! Crap! Yeah, I don't think we can get there. I think we're out of draw effects, right? Well, wait a minute. No, hold on. This could flip a ball. Ah! Buddy Puffin. Alright, we're out of this one. That's fine. Yeah, there's no out left for us. We needed to draw into the Baxcalibur to be able to go into that, and then we could use Superior Energy Retrieval, knock out the Qianpao, and then hope that they don't have enough damage with Baxcalibur. So, yeah, Magma Basin was in that deck as well. Like you get like because that's the one that puts Fire Energy on your bench. I can pull up that deck if that's what you're looking at. Yeah. 3 cards left in deck. That was a good one. I should have put Manaphy on my bench instead of sitting on that with stuff in hand. I don't know if it was better than the Bidoof, because I really needed to get the setup there, but I definitely needed it to not get sniped. I think from there we could have built back up. Anyway. But yeah, no, you're talking about Armarouge. This right here, this deck, is the Armarouge deck that I had here, where you use Armarouge to move Fire Energy off the bench Pokemon, which then gets put on there from Magma Basin, which attaches to the bench and puts damage counters on it. And then you have Arcanine was the Pokemon of choice, but Entei V and Delphox were the other backup attackers in this one that I had set up. This is a fun one. And almost all these decks are going to be like illegal because of like 2 or 3 cards at max. Escape Rope not existing is so weird to me. This is like this is it's not like Switch level basic, but it's still basic to see like, oh yeah, it's not in FGH at all. Like, That's wild. What makes Gamora... Okay, so VIP Battle Pass. Yeah, where Ultra Ball was gone for like CDE or something like that, like or like one of those points where Ultra Ball was gone for a while, which was just weird because I like when I think of Pokemon, the when I think of Pokemon TCG, the very first card that comes to mind in my mind is Ultra Ball, because it demonstrates the way that the Pokemon TCG interacts with card advantage. This is a card that in a lot of games, the cost benefit analysis of 3 cards for a search, unplayable, right? Like in like going 3 for 1 to go grab 1 creature. Like, you have to be grabbing the most powerful cards in the universe to want to do that. You know, it's on the level of, like, Left Arm Offering from Yu-Gi-Oh! And that card only sees play in instances where the card you're grabbing wins you the game on the spot. But in Pokemon, this is just, like, the normal interactive piece because decks have things like Professor's Research, things have cards like Iono to just draw back up to 6, or your deck has some sort of setup to continuously draw. It makes it very different. I'm glad this deck is still real, by the way. This is my fun Glamora deck where I just flip coins at you until you get really annoyed at me. I think the deck has some problems because Clara rotated, and Clara was the card that made this deck function. That's a bit of a problem. Clara here is pick up 2 energy, pick up 2 Pokemon, and what you would use it to pick up a Glamora and a Glimmit, like after one got knocked out. Your general setup would be have a Glamora active, have a Glamora on the bench, and have a Glimmit on the bench, and then like the rest of your bench is Manaphy, Sneasler, and Bibarel. That's your 6, and then you just sort of sit on poisoning them with Glamora and not taking knockout, like not being knocked out. The 1x Glamora.EXE is here as a side play that you could do for off of a Glimmit to like go actively like pushing, and also the like you would just put this like active and then swap, put them on 3 and then like get it the hell out of there. Might be better if you like can do that. You put that in the active and then pick it up with Sada, or not Sada, Turo. What do you think, Sada? I thought Sada because that's the one I play in this one. Anyway. But yeah, let me go back to... I just never attached a Poké Tool, sure. Anyway. It's time to look at some cards. What a good start. Iron Hands EX, just... This is some beautiful comedy. Thum, thum, thum. Like, you can see in the background, just like... I love that it's not even a straight line. Like, the Iron Hands is choosing to break through every single wall. That rules. Hey, buddy. It's our buddy Ghastly. We saw Ghastly on Friday. I like how happy Ghastly looks. You like turn, look down the stairs, and Ghastly's like, ah, hey. You're like, oh, it's Ghastly. Here's our dog popping out of frame. Get your ears. Woo. Now, Grotle here. I like the action move here. Like that, we have a slide back. Like that's nice. I'd have to see what the like. You know, we've got the Grodel, but no Turtwig or Torterra. Oh damn! Look at this really detailed close up on a Beldum. This doesn't count as a Cure Slide? No. It's not sideways. Like, just the the very detailed Beldum looking at you. As I've mentioned before, Metagross, like, my favorite Pokemon, just, like, flat. I have a small Metagross behind me. It's just the, like, the Poke Center has, like, tiny plushies that are like I have a small Volcarona and a small Metagross. And this is a good Beldum. 209 pounds. Ooh, yeah, we saw this Koraidon earlier. This is the Koraidon that, like, if you're set up on ancient Pokemon, can really go to town on a basic non-EX. That's a 180 at max. The Cobalt's Command. These promos, by the way, are from the like pass level. You just get these pair. Twin shot. Good old Iron Crown. What modes does Cobalt Command have? We're choosing the damage mode all the time. Draw some. Ooh. Oh, look at this field. Also, look at the, like, the lens on, like, the curvature here. Like, that's a cool, like, a perspective. Fire horse. Yeah, like a herd. What's a group of horses? Does that have, like, its own, like, you know, like herd, obviously, or whatever, but, like, I mean, like, does it have, like, do horses have one of those, like, terms, like a murder of crows or a crash of rhinos? Like, a name that is, like, a specific word to them? Like, because, like, a group of domestic horses is a team, stable, or troop. Troop. Make cargo, or our burn friend. Oh my god. This is beautiful. Look at the little paper sea dots in the background. This is so good. The little, like, wool, like a sea dot. Yeah, we saw a Yukamori Sinistea, I think it was, when we were looking through things last time. We saw Turtonator before. I remember seeing our Turtonator. The shot. Living in the volcano here. Yep, the Carvana with the group. The flying V of Carvana. Mime friend. Mime friend's a little too close. Yep, Iron Valiant. Iron Valiant's very cool. Like, the digital eyes on the Iron Pokemon are neat. like the brush that we're in here. Ooh, we didn't see Roserade last time. If your Pokemon active is damaged, poison them. Okay. And opponent can't retreat with the mind down. We got the stance. You're getting hit from here. Roserade trying their best to do a JoJo's pose. Yeah, I like the legs. Okay. What I love about this Roly-Coly, in addition to the name Roly-Coly, is that, like, we have a lot, like, the eye here gives you a lot of, like, you know, like there's a good amount of emotion just in the eye there. Like, Roly-Coly is just sort of looking at you like, what are you doing here? Roly-Coly's neat. Got the cart in the back. Oh, Skeletor. Search your deck for a card that has no abilities and evolves from any Pokemon. Put that Pokemon, evolve it, then shuffle your deck. You can use this card on a Oh, this is Wally. We rebound. So Wally. Wally was a supporter from a while back. I want to say Wally was printed in like XY era. Wally was you can evolve up with like this on any Pokemon, bypassing the you can't evolve on the turn you play. Wally was very busted, along with everything that does that kind of thing. Giant Forest of Plants also did that. Because it allowed for you to break one of the fundamental balance bits of the game, and the getting out something with a disruptive ability on turn 1 before your opponent has any chance of reacting. Nowadays you can't even play a supporter on turn 1. But this is the same text, but rather than grab any Pokemon, it has to grab a Pokemon with no abilities. Because the thing you would be able to do with Wally to set up would be to put Trevenant in the active on turn 1 was probably the most annoying. I think it was Trevenant who just had you can't play item cards. And so if you got that set up on turn 1, your opponent's hand might just turn to mush. It might just be oh, my Ultra Ball, all of my ball, all of my searchers, all of my draw, all of my setup is now off because you turn 1 Trevenanted me or whatever. Big pain. So doing this to upgrade into a a Pokemon that doesn't have an ability that does something big is a way of balancing it so that you can't grab out the disruptive you can't pull out the disruptive Archeops or something. Archeops was pulled out with a different card, but it's still something on my mind. If I remember Archeops, the Archeops I'm thinking of had the text players can't play evolution cards. And so if you got that out on, if you got up to Archeops on 1, it was just oh, well, that's the game. So, Maxie's hidden ball trick, indeed. Where, I still to this day, Archie's ace in the hole and Maxie's hidden ball trick. Ooh! Hey, Roaring Moon. Roaring Moon is cool. I like the design of Roaring Moon being like Mega Salamence with the wings, but a more raw Mega Salamence. Does 10 more damage to each ancient card in your discard pile. Interesting. So one of the ancient supporters has top 6 mill 2 or mill 4 keep 2. So you can use that as a setup tool. We also saw a couple other self-mill bits that might be mill bits that might work with that, and also just playing ancient cards. This seems like a thing that you could absolutely build around pretty, like, again, on a basic, being able to get this up to, like, pretty raw numbers pretty quickly. So... yeah, and Explorer's Guidance, the card I'm talking about right here. Because this gets you a ancient card in the yard for playing it, and also might mill more, and also like we've seen some of the other ancient support cards that could work with this. It's going to be interesting because ancient and future should be typings that continue to get more support for a little while, up until we move into like Legends A to Z. But yeah, like... yeah, and Sada's Vitality is also attach and draw. The card's very strong. That lets you get to your 2 immediately. There's also the booster. Oh, what's this? Free Prime Catcher. This one seems like a really... well, let's go. So one of the things I wanted to do today was just kind of take a look at Temporal Forces and, like, both, like, look at fun arts and also look at some of the cards in there and kind of just take a look at cards. Honestly, that's what I wanted to do, was take a look at cards. Hi, you found me. We're going to take a look at cards. Because they just have a gallery here, which lets me see everything in their cool art, and this is a pretty good way of being able to search up things. This is cute. Big fan of Scyther. We're all very shocked that you secretly just want to look at cards. I understand. It's very shocking. I get it. But also... one of my favorite Pokemon anime episodes is in Sun Moon era. Sun Moon era has a ton of good episodes, Pokemon anime. But in the Sun Moon era, there is an episode where like a baseball pro shows up to the school that Ash is at with Professor Kukui and friends. And they decide that they're going to play a game of baseball. And Team Rocket shows up, and they're going to play baseball, and everyone's here to play some baseball. They want, like... I don't know. I think it's like we want the Team Rocket... like, Jesse wants an autograph off of the baseball pro. And really, we're just here doing a baseball time. It's a baseball episode, you know? Dragon Ball Super has a baseball episode. It's great. It's one of the best episodes of that show, too. But in the baseball episode... one of my favorite jokes in the Sun Moon baseball episode is that the umpire is a Scyther. And Scyther's Japanese name is Strike. So the first pitch happens, it's like wide, and we just hear strike. Gotta argue with the ump because it's like, what a terrible call. What? But it's a Scyther. Like, it's a Pokemon. They're just strike. Like, that's it. That's what we got. It's great. DS9 has a baseball episode. Death to the opposition. Yeah, I love that one too. Baseball has like a minor bit, like a minor but real bit of DS9. Like in the first episode, Cisco uses baseball as a metaphor to teach the wormhole aliens like about linear time. But yeah, really good bit. Sun Moon anime, a lot of good episodes. Really enjoyed it. A lot of good episodes across. Hey, Pineko. But yeah, so that's a Scyther bit for you to learn. Pineko, like this balance, like got the balance on the Pineko. Oh, back to this C dot. Now we gotta go like to the ones we haven't seen. Ooh, okay. Let's see what Shift Tree has. Okay, Shift Tree. 1 grass. Choose 3 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. If you do, shuffle all your opponent's bench Pokemon that you didn't choose and all cards that those in the... Oh! That is powerful. Like, it's a stage 2, like, so, like, the setup on this is wildly high. Like, you have to do a lot of commitment. This is a cool move, though. I like that it's... The fact that it's targeted is what makes it interesting. Energy Loop is kind of cute, because it lets you play defensively with the energy. This is a fun one. Because it's targeted. We had the Glamora.EXE I was looking at earlier that has, like, your opponent goes down to 3 bench, but they choose what they discard. Like, against our last opponent that had 3 Bibarel, I just get rid of everything that isn't the Bibarel, you know? And then, like, they're like, what? And then they kill me anyway, because I spent all my time setting up a Shift Tree and getting rid of their bench, which didn't, like, really get me forward, but it's fun. Ah, Shroomish. Alright. Turtwig. We saw Turtwig earlier. Turtwig is rough tough. Real cool. 80 HP, so you can't you can't grab this Turtwig with a the Poffin. Too big. And then we have the Grotto. Alright, what's Torterra.EXE at? I see. Big. This deck does 30 damage for each of your grass Pokemon in play. So, 1 energy, 180 max. Unless we have bench extenders. I don't know if we're in that, like, I don't know if we live in that world where, like, I'm thinking Rayquaza. Still, 1 energy for like, enough to 2-hit KO anything in the game. 340 HP is immense. This is unreasonably high. Even above a lot of the EX setups that I can think of. Usually like 320, 330. So, and then Jungle Hammer, which also has like self-healing and is still hitting for reasonable. This is nice. This is a good build around. 340 highest HP that isn't like Wailord or Snorlax. Yeah, like that sort of thing. Like, you have to be like... There are... so, one of the fun things about the Pokemon TCG is that there's cards that kind of have like consistent rules-breaking stuff, where like Snorlax or Wailord always get to be like the biggest HP Pokemon. Wailord usually is the actual one, but Snorlax is one I think of that also has like higher than usual. Back in the day, there was a deck that was just Wailord.EXE Stall. This was... You would just play Wailord, and, like... You wouldn't even have energy to attack with. You'd pick up Wailord with stuff like Professor Sada's, the feature card we had, that lets you pick up... It was AZ back in the day. And then, like, just a full heal. Chansey Blissey, Chansey and Blissey don't generally, from my memory, have like like over the top HP. They tend to have like big HP and then big healing. This is the most determined, like they aren't like breaking the. Okay, the Blissey V has 250. Okay, that's good to hear. If you do damage to a Blissey V, you actually have to put every damage counter on it individually, one by one. Like you gotta like. Yep. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. Yep. Stop. Okay. Yep. Uh-huh. That's I don't make the rules. Determined Shaman. Cottony. So we saw Cottony. Cottony flies in a hurricane to the other side of the earth. Whimsicott. Okay. When you play this Pokemon from your hand, to evolve. You can heal all damage from your active grass Pokemon and discard all energy from it. I see. So the combination here is like Torterra.EXE having an attack that costs 1 and a gigantic health pool. Torterra gets messed up but can't be one-hit killed because it's too big. And then you go full heal, discard all energy, play 1. And there you go. That's a deck idea to start with. Torterra.EXE plus Whimsicott, and then maybe some other grass types to be on your bench to help out. I enjoy the like having cards like this that like this definitely says like, oh hey, you know, you open these in a pack and you see, oh, here's a deck that you can kind of build to. I think that's good to have like synergistic designs like this. Like it's not it's you know, not directly prescriptive, like, you know, it is, but it, you know, it doesn't, it's not saying, hey, play these two together, but, you know, that's cute. I like that. We went through Deerlings last time. Oh. The Tumbleweed Pokemon is so very silly. Look at the, like, currents. I feel like 1.3 pounds is almost too heavy, but like, Tumbleweed's pretty big. Bramblin here doesn't have any. Is not even Bramblin knows where it is headed as it tumbles across the wilderness. It loathes getting wet. All right, let's see what Bramblegast has. Normal Tumbleweed around. Okay, yeah. I guess in my mind, I think of a Tumbleweed as like a timeless, or not a timeless, but like a ethereal thing that just, it has no weight. It's just like ghost. This gets plus 50 HP for each prize your opponent is taken. I see. Talking about big grass. We saw earlier on Friday the fortress that can blow up to grab energy, and so I assume the idea being you force your opponent down to 2 prizes, maybe play Iono to put them back to 2 cards and sit behind the most gigantic Bramblegasts possible. That's cute. Again, I love decks that kind of build like that, and like none of these need to be like you know, tournament tier breakers. They just need to be possible. They need to be functional because they'll be cool to play. They'll be fun when they work. When you get off your plan and go, all right, here's Bramblegast at 350 HP, let's go. And it's like, what? Like, how am I killing that? Like, that's great. Skill villain. All right. What's Capture Kid? Skill villain have here. 260 HP, big, stage 1 EX. Your opponent's active Pokemon is burned, can't retreat. That's like, not really. That's extant. I feel like if I'm using that on a Pokemon that was a stage 1 EX, something's gone wrong. That doesn't do anything. You're here for the second effect, Two-Headed Crushing. Big damage. 140 is sizable. Probably, like, can 2-hit anything that isn't, like, a stage 2 EX. But also, we got Disruption. We got the Two-Headed Crushing. Ah. I talked earlier about the emotion on a face. It rolls its mud ball around while the energy it needs revolution matures. Just the face. take a look at Iron Leaves. Iron Leaves, 220 future. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, switch it with your active, pull energy. Okay, so this has the quick swap in text. This is something we've seen on Pokemon a good amount. Like this is known text where you just play it down and they just go woof and like swap in, and like sometimes they have to swap in and then take the energy. Sometimes they have to swap in themselves. So this is like if you need something to just come in and immediately slam for 180, this can pull from anywhere on your bench. Then do that. And look directly at you. Look at our friend Victini here. That's great. Oh. I like this direct angle of Victini looking at us. We got our fun, the kind of coloration and dotting of things here. Can you have multiple Iron Leaves in the deck? Yeah, you can have. So the card limit in this game is 4 of. The only cards that would if a card has text like an ace spec to play 1 of, then you can. But like EXs and things, you can still just play 4 of. Iron Leaves EX is even a different card from Iron Leaves if there was an Iron Leaves non-EX. So you could play 4 of each because the card's name would be like different. Like the Cobalion, or not Cobalion, the Koraidon we saw would be a bit like that. Victini, historically, is a Pokemon that has gotten coin flipping as like a thing that they can do. One of the more common texts we see on Victini is just like, while this is on your bench, if an attack would make you coin flip to, and choose one. Cat. What a good cat. Just hanging on the rooftop. I mentioned before, like, cityscapes are one of my favorite setups, and I love, like you know, actual, like big cityscapes, or just, like, rooftop bits, or, like, all sorts of different cityscapes for Pokemon to live in. And then we have Litten, Torracat, and then Incineroar, which has the wanting to blast Pokemon with, based on how many bench they have. And in general, a lot of decks are going to be like, you have to have a good reason not to be filling your bench usually, especially when you have cards like the Poffin that are searching 2 setup pieces, and then you have like setup and draw. So like this gets quite cheap pretty quick. That's a lot of damage too. Gouging Fire EX. Okay, this is no frills, no, oh wow, Blaze Blitz is actually different than we usually see for this style of attack. This is different. Usually, if I pull up Prism Edge, this is the more common text you get, where it's like big attack, 3 energy, big damage, and you can't, this Pokemon can't use it next turn. This doesn't say that. It says there's no turn. You're not, get out of here. Like, you're right. There's no frills down here. The frills are up here. It's true. But yeah, you gotta swap out. 260, that's, again, I think that's anything but like a stage 2 rules box. Because like a stage 1, like we saw with, yeah, maybe a bigger one. There might be, like, you know, if you have a 270 stage 1. Oh, this is relaxing looking. Look at this Totodile. They have a stick. Check out that stick. It's a pretty good one. I also like the lily pad with a little Pac-Man. Just swimming. Big bite. I bite. Oh. Just swimming. Oh, this is really nice. I like the coloration on the different, like, weeds, you know, back here. Just rolling through. There are always 48 fangs lining its mouth. And then we saw the Zawa Gator, who can go big if wanted. Ooh, we saw Carvana, but we haven't seen. Ooh. What a shot. Holy smokes. Like, this gigantic moon, the, like, orangish clouds while it's jumping out. And, Sharpedo is here for damage, and what if your hand is 0? What if, what if you don't get cards anymore? That's a lot. Again, this is a game with a lot of card draw. We saw our opponent with a Bibarel on the bench that would be able to recover easily if they went down from 4 cards to 1. But definitely get your hand like a cat. Alright. Again, I love that you can see this and, like, immediately have an idea of, like, what you might be doing there. Oh. Keldeo. Keldeo's pretty cool. Keldeo's had some, like, strong... I remember using Keldeo... Was it EX or GX? GX? I think it was GX. Because it was like a, you know, Rain Dance deck way back in the day, because Keldeo can swap into the active. Keldeo must defeat Keldeo. Resolve for battle. We got another Finizen. We saw her last time on Friday. We saw Finizen, Palafin. And the like cool, again, the very cool deck and power that they have. This is a good Dolphin. It's the Dolphin Pokemon. Yep. So this is a different Palafin. The hero here, so the other Palafin had an attack that it had to use when it swapped in. This one, recoil damages for each damage on it. 1 energy, 130. So again, like the idea is this is super cheap for big damage. Recoil punch. You feel it. Nice. I like the spotlight, like the hero, the pose. Vanguard Palafin, flank Palafin, and the lighting. They can easily lift a cruise ship. Double hit is like not what you're here for. This isn't what you care about. You care about the 130 from that. Ooh, okay. We got the Suicune. This is the last. It's ancient. Damage from attacks used by this Pokemon isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active. So if your opponent has like the next an effect that's like take less damage or can't take damage, this just bypasses it. For instance, we saw like I think it was a Mimikyu that had like EXs and Vs can't touch. Like this is one of the counters where like effects can't stop it. 120, 240 if they have a special. So special condition is like poison, etc., etc., etc. Poison, burn, confusion, paralysis, sleep. Yeah, I'll have to find that Mimikyu. I don't remember if it's in this set or if it was in a different one. So we saw this Pikachu. This is a beautiful Pikachu. Great Pikachu. Lovely Pikachu. Pikachu is not here for battle. This is a Pikachu who is, like, maybe gonna spark, like, a little bit. You know. I like the big tail because of our angle. But, so if the Pikachu's not the attacker, the Raichu's also... Sleepy. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, like a fisheye look. Raichu! So, fun thing here. Collateral Bolt does 50 damage to each Pokemon that has damage on it. Yours and your opponent's. Oh, boy. And the Pikachu is very little damage, but it can poke bench. So the idea being that Raichu can take advantage of that and, like, mass snipe. In the, like, you know, cool world where it does 50 to all bench. Cards that have, like, a fun story to them, like a plan to build towards, and a game that you get to pull off and you feel like a champion when it works, you know, might not be, like, terribly effective, but like, you know, for low enough cost or too much setup, but really fun to try to pull off anyway. This is images taken 2 seconds before your death. Like... You're about to get socked. To be continued comes up in the corner. It's like fine. It's like the buzz. I noted a while, like last time, about baby Pokemon. Baby Pokemon don't make Electabuzz, not a basic. Like, the existence of Elekid doesn't make Electabuzz. Like, it's weird, but, like, those evolutions don't count. Baby Pokemon are kind of strange because they were all introduced, like, after the fact, you know? Like, so the cards were already basics the first time around. You can add the evolutions on top much easier than the ones below, because, like, that, like, Electabuzz becoming a stage 1 is funky. This gets super funky with, like, Legends Arceus stuff, yeah. Okay. Electivire. Electivire here has a very specific game plan. That is, if your opponent is playing water, die. Fun thing to note, this attack doesn't cost electric energy. So, like, it's one of those things where, like, you're playing with your buddies and your buddy's got this really annoying water deck and you just want to knock them down. You don't have to swap fully over. You might just be able to fit in, like, alright, Electivire shows up. It's time to hit for, you know, because this says 40 plus 120. But if it's hitting a water Pokemon, it's also likely hitting for weakness damage, unless it's an ice. Again, not a competitive idea, but like a working one as like playing with my sealed cards sort of thing. Pretty cool. I like Electivire. I like those evolutions. Okay, we're about to hit something really wild. Oh, Terra types. Funny note, someone who's not playing Water Deck playing like Radiant Greninja. So we got the Thunderwug trio. Ooh! This is actually a really cool attack. Discard up to 3 energy. This attack does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each card discarded this way. If you hit a bench, you don't get weakness resistance. 180 on a snipe is, like, wild. Like, 180 on a snipe can kill anything, like, that kills anything that isn't, like, a rules box Pokemon. You know, even a stage 2 evolution, if you're, you know, it's like, here's my Baxcalibur, and you're like, hey, it's safe. So, numbing hold is, like, fine, but, like, again, usually, you know, we've seen a lot where it's a Pokemon has, like, one attack that's, like, the, yo, this is, like, what you're looking at, and you're like, oh, alright, this is something nifty. It also doesn't say discarding water energy. So, like, it just says energy. Water, as we saw, has good ways of getting energy with Chien-Pao, but, like, isn't exclusively the type that can get that. These are angry eyebrowed. Look at the Wug Trio. These are angry eyebrowed Wug Trio. Let's go. Hold on. This is like box art Kirby. Oh no. They even have a hat, a Kirby hat. Ball roll. This is cute. Just sort of hanging out in the water and looking at you. Could kill anything. If you're lucky enough, this does infinite damage. Unbeatable. This Meryl cannot be defeated if you're you know. if you've won games of Magic off of a Mana Clash. If you're good at doing 2 to the power of 20, the odds. These are tiny. As Meryl's here. Yeah, they dropped Fairy, when they did like a little bit of a weakness resistance restructuring to rebalance the numbers. They dropped Fairy as a type specifically because Fairy, like, basically it's the if Fairy was its own type, we're on too, like, we're too spread thin. If a set has like 100 cards, if there's 10 types, that's 10 cards per type. If there's 9 types, you get like extra cards in those types so you can dig deeper. Dragon is a type, but dragons are multicolor, effectively. Dragons are like, so if you see a Salamence, it's dragon type, but it asks for water and fire energy. And also, they don't have a weakness or resistance, usually, I think is the new dragon typing. Dragons used to be weak to dragons, but that made them really unplayable, because, like, if they were good, they would kill each other. It was annoying if dragons beat dragons. So they dropped Fairy, basically because having too many colors in the game, like, makes the, like, you know, amount that you have building around much harder by 1 every time you add. And Fairy was the newest, and it just didn't have enough space to work with. So they moved in with Psychic. This was also when they moved Poison from Psychic to Dark. And kind of... because Poison has, like... You know, again, you don't want to overload one type. Does Steel tend to be shallower than other types? It's the only one that doesn't share. It's not the only one that doesn't share. Fire and Electric also are just their own. Water and Ice share. Fighting is Fighting, Ground, Rock. Psychic is Psychic, Fairy, Ghost. I think Ghost falls in here. Dark is Dark, Poison. Dragon is its own thing. Flying lives in colorless with normal. but usually takes the secondary typing of a Pokemon. And who did I forget? Fire, electric, water, grass, fighting, psychic, steel, dark, dragon, colorless. So, like, there are flying types that are like their own typing, and there are flying types that live in normal. Both sides happen. Trying to see if we have like an example up here. Oh, grass has bug. Right, that's a... I didn't... Grass having bug in there. Giraffe rig. Does 10 more damage for each damage counter on the opponent's active. Okay. I bite. This angle links the, like, tail look like a chain chomp sort of hanging out there. But yeah, so, like, the typing, that's sort of like how the typings fly out. And then weaknesses are also, like, kind of standardized to, like, what type they are. Because obviously, like, a psychic type could have a lot of weaknesses, but they chose dark with this resistance for them. Whereas, fairy will always take, like, steel to make steel a little bit more relevant, or, and, like, you kind of have to choose one on Pokemon that have multiple. There's a lot to it. It's kind of funky, but, like, there's a balance to it. I'm trying to find water. Yeah, so, like, this is ice, so it has a steel type weakness, whereas this is a water, so it has electric as a weakness. In grass, fire has water as a weakness. In grass, we have fire as a weakness across the board. Like, the idea is trying to keep it so that there's always something you have a strength against. A lot of psychics, I don't know. Oh, Latias doing a flip. Also, kind of having the... I mentioned Latios' sort of weird hands. These are a little less weird, but still a little weird. I think it's the, like, size jump from, like, the elbow-ish area. Landing gears. Ooh. Mirror attack. I like the way that this Bronzor is sort of got a similar, like, I like the like, coloration where we have these greens and, like, they match sort of our background coloration a bit. Let's see, we have a Bronzong then, right? Ooh, Bronzong in the storm. Ooh. Oh. Okay, another thing, just again, I think I've said this before, but this is something I love about Pokemon and, like, card design in Pokemon, is that, like, even, like, cards that are like, oh, here, like, in Magic, you have your, like, commons, your draft cards, your limited style cards, your cards that aren't, like, going to be, like, made to be, not everything can be powerful or the top. But I really enjoy that almost across the board, Pokemon will have, like, something unique to them that, like, makes them feel like, I could build in this direction. An Evolution Jammer is the unique thing Bronzong has here of, like, boy, you get Bronzong down and you can, like, it's low damage, but, like, if they're stuck on just, like, I'm just stuck on Caterpie. I can't get off this Caterpie. Help. Caterpie can't fight Bronzong. What am I supposed to do? You know? Same with, like a lot of Pokemon have, like, their own little plans or their own unique pieces that make them, like, worth looking at, or, like, you know, something that, like, you could consider based on their, like, unique setup they have. I like that a lot. Angry Sauce, LGM. Ooh, again, this, like, we are in a very colorful like background here. It's the same. Who was? No, that's not the one. It must have been the last time. There's a coloration like this, almost stained glass feeling on this with these like gems. If this Pokemon stands near a TV, strange scenery will appear on the screen. The Cosmic Beatdown! Alright. You just beat him to death with hammers. Cosmic hammers. We are here to beat you to death. Like, yeah. Cute. Speaking of cute. Ooh. Tiny little fly. Again, scenery does a lot on the background of these, making them each unique. Very tiny, 30 HP. That's the lowest I've ever seen. 30 HP is like reserved for Magikarp level size. I don't know if you go below that ever. I can't think of one that ever went below 30, because Magikarp's the lowest I can think of. Like, yeah, OG base set HPs are like 30, you know? Yeah. Oh yeah, the Clefairy doll would be like that sort of thing, the temp things that just die to anything. Ooh, again, so, as I mentioned, like, each Pokemon has something unique that makes you go, oh, hello. And Rabombi here, free retreat, so you can swap out after you use Plentiful Pollen to make your opponent go, oh god, oh hell, oh god, oh hell, oh no, 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 no. Ranked up to Alex. Nice! Congrats. So, this is an effect applied to the defending Pokemon, so if they swap, like, they're safe. That's the... Like, we have that with, we saw the, there was was it a Medicham? No, it wasn't a Medicham. It was a Pokemon that had, like, kill a Pokemon if it's still there next turn. So. But if they don't swap, you have free retreat. Yeah, swap into Iron Hands and just go to town. If you knock out a VMAX, that's game, right? I think it's VMAX. I think so. There's VMAX and V Star, and one of those is 2 prizes, and one of those is 3 prizes. And the fact that they're different actually really annoys me. Like, I don't like that. I actually think that's really annoying that they're 2 prizes and 3 prizes. I know they're different. That's what makes them different mechanically, but like it's like a mental space thing that's like, oh, okay. Oh, all the VMAXs are out in rotation. Interesting, okay. This is beautiful Screamtail. What a fun. Also, like, very supportive okay, both of these attacks are very good. We got the like supportive singing, and then we got the we got the big hyper voice. It's all about the voice. That's cute. That's beautiful. What a silly looking Jigglypuff. And you saw Fluttermane, that's the ability blocker. Very powerful, these style of effects. The attack on here is no slouch either. Ding, ding, ding. Ooh, what a cool effect. So, when you play Drillbur, Drillbur comes with a battle compressor that can only send basic fighting energy. Also, relaxing Drillbur, who has made a nice little bed to roll back in. We had talked about like reasons you would want the fighting energy in the yard, and like, you know, Mudsdale says recur from discard. There's a lot of recur from discard. This is just sight remob being clicked on the stream. True. A bee fly is here, and they're very tiny. We're just taking a look at cards. Dig, dig, dig. Hexadrill has the huge hit that hits itself back. This is cute. We also said, oh god, beautiful Golett. Incredible Golett. The Iron Defense. Alright, let's learn what Golurk has to offer. Yeah, discard in this game is not as much a second hand as in some other games, but there are, like, recurring energy is a piece that happens across things. It used to be more so. Versus Seeker used to be, the biggie. Like, you would compressor all your good supporters in the yard and then be able to Versus Seeker them back. That's so good. The background on, oh, look at this. Like, the very deep red. Also, the Golurk keeps the Iron Defense. Artillery platforms built into the walls of ancient castles served as perches from which Golurk could fire energy beam. Like, this has such a strong feeling to it with the background, everything having this deep red, the trees and kind of the ruins that the Golurk's walking through, and then we have the Golurk kind of in shadow with its greens and yellow highlights. Very nice. Here for punching. Extremely punching. Alright, so we saw Roly-Poly earlier. Alright. There's Roly-Poly. It's got that eye. It's judging you a little bit. Not much. A little bit. Just a little. Carcole. Oh, the action. Look at Carcole rolling down the rail. Oh my god. Zoom. It's got speed. There's a mini game going on. Caesar Altar has a similar feel. Okay. And then, so okay, we got Boulder Crush. A lot of energy. Knock away. Alright. But what does Colossal have? Okay, that rules. Again, I love to see a Pokemon that, like, kind of gives you an idea for a deck you might not have thought of. And here it is, like, you have Colossal in, like, a fire deck where you just go... don't get why it's a fighting type. Fighting... overlaps with rock and ground. As far as like typing goes, and when a Pokemon gets printed as a card, it has to have one of the two, and so we are likely to see a fire type Colossal at some time as well, like if it's dual typed like that, but it can't have one. This is the rock type on the side of it. But yeah, Gatling Tar also wants the fire, so it's calling out that fire typing. And Cragalanche, which also has a mill effect on it, on its big hit. This is cute. This is a fun, big old beast of a 9'2". Oh my god. Coming right at you. This is moments before you get flipped. You don't take any damage when you get hit by this, you're going to get flipped. You're gonna get flipped into the air. You might take 30 damage, I'm lying to you. But you're gonna get flipped. Wrathful Charge, if your bench has any damage on it, plus 80. Okay. So, if you have, like, if you put damage there yourself, or if this is coming out as, like, a switch in, you can go to town. We have ways of getting energy on the ancient Pokemon. That's probably a little bit work for that compared to, like, Koraidon's setup, but still cool. Seen before Team Rocket blasts off again. Oh, we actually have multiple Great Tusks even in this set. Here's Great Tusk, and here's Greater Great Tusk, which has Land Collapse. This is the mill one. If you played an Ancient Supporter, mill 4 cards off your opponent's deck. Can be real. Can be quite real. Can be very telegraphed, but can be real. The Boulder. Okay, we got the Repulsor Axe. During your opponent's turn, if this Pokemon takes damage, even if it's knocked out, reflect 8. Okay. That's like low damage, but like really like... Okay, I can see what you're doing there. And then you have Power Stomp as like a big killer. Boulder as your active reflector. This is good Ekans. I like the Ekans. I talked about the Ekans last time. It's just this is a classics of Ekans. Like wrap around a tree. I like the background. I like the flat, like the flat, like mountains or hills back here. Sometimes there's different cards in the same Pokemon because English sets are usually 2 Japanese sets matched together. Yeah, that's true as well. Like the big sets that are 2 sets combined, so you get like you get 2 copies of a basic sometimes, or you know, a line even. Oh fuck! Ooh, okay. Get God. Your opponent's in hell. How many statuses? All of them, please. Like, yeah, this is some Marlboro hitting you with status effects. Like, there's nothing stopping them from, like, swapping out or anything, and that's the easiest way to, like, get rid of status conditions. But this is very cool to have all the status conditions and be like, all right, take 10, maybe take 20, maybe take 30, all right, yep, ping, 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 like. Okay. So we have our Ghastly, who's happy to see you on the stairs. We have the Haunter, who's been caught by the cops in mid-prank. And then... when your opponent attaches an energy from their hand, 2 damage. Okay, so this is Gengar. Oh, that stacks. That doesn't say only applies once. Interesting. That's okay. This is an effect that's existed a couple times. I remember a stadium that I think had this fairly recently. I think Team Magma had a stadium that did this as well back in the day. I think the cost on this is way higher than a stadium. because like you're setting up a stage 2 EX rather than just playing a card. But this also seems like a thing where you're like, okay, you set up as many Gengars as you can, and you use tricky steps to force the energy onto junk, you know? Yeah, I suppose that, like, this, like, you can bypass this. It's a plan, you know? As I've said, plans need not be hyper-competitive, or, like, above the line. They merely need to be fun to play with and, like, work on, like, function. And this is a card that I see this, and immediately you can see the idea of, aha, put 4 Gengars out, put out other, like, pinging effects, and then, like, energy control. And then your opponent goes, like, well, I'll attach from the grave, and you're like, alright, you know. But sometimes you do get to zap them, and it's great. Ooh, okay, so we saw Scythor earlier. Ceruledge.EXE, what do you got? Imagine being careful on the design. It's inching close to, like, yeah. You gotta, there's always lines to be careful with. What do we got on Caesar? During your next turn, this Pokemon takes 50 less damage. Sure, that's, like, fine. Crossbreaker, this has gotta be what we're here for. Discard up to 2 steel energy. This attack does, oh, scalable. That's cheap, too, damn. 240 for 2 energy? And you don't need to spend it both? Like, so, Chanpao that we were playing earlier is 60 for each energy. It's off of any Pokemon, obviously. This gets double that, for off itself. It can't scale infinitely. Like, you're not going to be, like, setting it back up again would be a bit of an annoyance, but you have like, steel ways of getting back up. That's pretty cool. Again, like, I like that it's modal in a way that, like, you don't have to go for 240, discard all your energy. If you need 120, like, you've got it. Or just Steel Wing, even, because it's the same energy cost, too. Alright. So, we saw... Maybe you need 0. Does it not do 120 base then get added? No. This is 120 times number. It's not 120 plus. That's a times. Whereas, like, if we saw... 1 4. I'm gonna find somebody with a plus. Yeah, 40 plus. So, yeah. Alright. Love this Beldum. Love that it's levitation it's got going on here. Love the detail. Let's see what Metang has to offer. Yeah. Okay. Once during your turn, you look at the top 4. Attach any number of basic steel to your basic metal. Talk about a way of setting things up. Hoofa. So, funnily enough, Metang here is your, like, energy acceleration. It doesn't say attach to your bench. You can attach to the active. It doesn't discard the cards not played. I like that it just beam. What's your attack? Beam? I will fire a beam. It will deal damage. Beam. that's beam. And, like, you can use that steel, like, so you can use Metang to power your Metagross, you know? Like, yeah, Metagross can 1 energy do the Meteor Mash, but, like, Metang might be able to push you up. And this doesn't say once, like, it's not a exclusive once. This says once during your turn, and that's like this, but it doesn't say, like, you can only use one copy of Metal Maker per turn. So it's fun to have again, I've talked about some of the designs where it's like, okay, this becomes unique, but also having a design where your middle evolution has utility makes it so you're not just like, I am going to play 4 Beldum and I'm going to rare candy to Metagross, you know? Like, you know, like the Baxcalibur we're playing. I only play 1 copy of the middle line of that because I am always going to rare candy up. I don't want to play the middle line. It doesn't do anything. I don't really have anything to say about Melton here. I just want to show the art off again. Ooh, that's cool. As long as this Pokemon has the Future Booster energy on it, energy capsule, it is a fighting and steel type. That's pretty rad. Okay, and this also, like, is 2 energy, but you pass back, so, like, you can attach on and then kind of feed someone else. 60 damage is sadly a little, what? Yeah, the future, so the future cards, Lucy, all have this, like, this is the right side. That, yeah, that looks like the Demon's Driver. It's pretty cool. Deal. Oh boy. It looks like Lickitung has maybe found a taste it's not happy with here. I'm not certain what I'm feeling looking at Lickitung here. The itch will not go. Okay, interesting. So this sounds like it doesn't do anything, or like is like bad for you. But throwing junk basics on your opponent's bench can be quite viable if your opponent isn't cooperating with your plans, right? Like, oh, I've seen that you're going to, like, zap all my bench. I'm just going to play, like, my main attacker and, like, the one setup that goes with them. No, you're not. Like, Lickitung is here to tell you, there was a item, I think, that was like, throw a Pokemon from your opponent's discard onto their bench, which was a really good way to be able to, like, snipe off the last prize. Flip a coin, paralyze, and then Tornado. No one has figured out how Licky's tongue can stretch so far. Look at that attack. That's cute. Yeah, and sometimes if all of a sudden you have 3 Madoofs in play, you're like, wait a minute, this is annoying. Or maybe you were planning on discarding those cards to an Ultra Ball next turn or something. It's funky disruption. Not always useful, but, you know. Ah, I love them. Sitting above on the tree. I like the like, kind of, almost like a fairy tale-esque feeling on the twisting in the backgrounds. That's at least what I'm feeling when looking at this. This is a Hoot-Hoot. This is a Hoot-Hoot who exists in your dreams to see your hand. Damn. Alright, Noctowl. Noctowl looks directly in your opponent's soul and says, You have a judge, right? You have Iono, right? I'm gonna crush you. Like, tutoring in this game, like, this sort of tutoring in this game does have counterplay. You know, there are ways to make your opponent flip their hand back down. Knocked out certain, like, I remember there was like I think it was Metacross.EXE had an attack that was like Tutor 5, and you almost never wanted to use it because the immediate response on you going Tutor 5 was your opponent going, shuffle your hand away, jerk. Like, play a Marnie or whatever. But yeah, also, they haven't even talked about the art on this Noctowl. The, like, this, like, really nice nighttime. Like, it's still very bright. Like, out here with, like, our full moon. It's too dark for this to be the sun. I love it. Tutor 2. That's terrifying, though. That's great. Dunsparce! Dig! This is the most active Dunsparce. It's so determined and sleepy. Tsuchinoko may in fact be real. How much variation is there in competitive decks? Are decks fairly static, or do different players make small changes? So, one of the things about Pokemon as a game is that, like, you don't have a sideboard. You don't have, like, in a competitive sense, you don't have a sideboard. You only have the 60 you bring with you. So, like, if you are planning to beat certain different deck ideas, even if you're coming with the same, like, my deck is going to be built around, like, what you want to, like, have your tech cards, like, against, that's, you know, a question that does matter a lot. The core of your deck, and the core of a lot of decks, is going to be shared, but there's, you know, depending on the deck, there could be a lot of wiggle room. And maybe that wiggle room is the same because a lot of decks want to beat XYZ at the same way, but, like, and you see a lot of the similarities on some of the, like, bench Pokemon, but, like, there's a lot of room for that. I don't know that there is. Like, I'm not terribly competitively eyed at, like, the card game, watching at top level stuff, playing at it, but, like, because of the lack of a sideboard, there has to be. Anyway, let's look at our friend. Runaway draw. Once during your turn, you may draw 3 cards. If you drew any cards in this way, shuffle this Pokemon and all attached cards in your deck. Goodbye. The Dunsparce leaves. Yeah, I figure there's a couple folks, like, some of the folks in the chat who are a little more, like, plugged into tournament level stuff could tell you specific examples of, like, how, like, you know, what sort of text, like, a Qianpao deck might include in order to try to change a matchup, or, like, what sort of things Charizard gets to include for, like, there was mention of, like, oh, grass types have trouble dealing with this HP line, so maybe they include Iron Thorns, or, like, something like that. Big Cat. Ah, the Energy Blender. Put you in the Energy Blender. You can move any energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon any way you like. You got anything you want. Move them around. Ship it. You don't want the energy anymore on the cat? Get him out. Move him to the other cat. Time to make some Pokeblocks. We're putting the berries in the blender. Like the seaside. It's nice. Ah. Capella. Search your deck for 3 basic Pokemon. Put them on your badge. Goodness. 1 second, I'll be right back. Let you enjoy this chat tot. Did you enjoy the chat tot? I did. It's nice. Oh, but I love the pit of. Oh my goodness. That's really interesting. This is a really cool ability. So you have to work for this. You have to, like, have... I mentioned before, when we were looking at Gengar... I'll pull Gengar back up again. Gengar is just opponent. I remember there's a stadium that does this both sides. Bog Stadium can... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There's like a... There's a couple ways of, like, just dealing 20 damage when a Pokemon comes in, and they're both, like, reciprocal. And that would be the setup I would think of for Pidove, where you play it and you just go, whoop, it's time to go. Also, I just love this art of, like, on a walk. Now, if you're playing this Pidove, you're probably not playing Tranquil, because the idea would be trying to sidestep. Still, looks nice. I like the, like, feathers. Alright, so what's Unfezant got? What are we pulling into? Look at the speed! Ooh! Okay. It's a cute sort of control. Like if your opponent has something set up and they don't have ways of replaying the energy, you can bounce it back and it takes turns to put it back on. A lot of decks have energy disruption. They found the angle where the mask doesn't look terrible. And then Boundless Power being big money, big damage. Oh my god. Love to see a Yukimori art. Like, these are so incredible. Just a little figure that exists in reality. There's a, like a magic, unique release, the secret layers they call them, that's like these little dioramas on cards they were showing off. Like, not this type, but more of like a very built diorama thing, so it's the whole area. But this is also like, just out in the world. All right, what's our friend got? Special roll. 70 damage for each special energy attached to this Pokemon. Okay. I don't know what special energies look like these days. I know Jet exists. I want to say there's a Pokemon that has the text like, you can play any number of special energy, like in a turn. double reversal. Okay, so there are. I'm not, like I don't know what standard looks like to have a lot. Like, Blue UV Star reanimates 2 fully evolved colorless monsters from the grave. Okay. I can see the idea of how you'd build that then. I feel like Lugia has been like an annoying threat for like 6 years or some nonsense. And I like like maybe not that long, but it feels like Lugia has been like, wow, here's this annoying Pokemon who's been like a terror of the top tiers for like 4 years. Lugia is responsible for them making every special energy trash and not reprinting Rainbow. Fun. Okay. Good fluffy friend, though. The Scarf Pokemon. Ooh. What a beautiful Drampa. I love the way that the foiling is not on the Drampa here. That's actually really cool. The way that like the Drampa stands out from the like almost like the inked background. These mountains that are like very light touch, like ink look. If all your bench Pokemon have a damage on them, this hits for hell damage. If you have no bench, is this on? My gut says no. My gut also says that's a terrible idea, don't do that. Because if Drampa dies, you die. But I don't know how that would be ruled in the game. Because all of your 0 do fit that condition. Cute. Yeah, I just love the background on this as well. The like ink, like the cloud mountains and this like this very distinct style, while Drampa's just in the front. Howdy. Deal. So we saw this. This is one of the support pieces for Ancient. That's so much health. Like being able to, like immune to special conditions is like fine. Like 60 HP is pretty big. Like you're able to boost from on a basic that's like 140 to 200. And like that's big news. All right. We're going to go through and take a distinct look at all of the ace specs in here. I don't know what... So, back in the day... So, ace specs, we'll start with Maximum Belt because that's the one I have. Ace specs are these magenta cards with the like, cyan on them here. That you can only have one ace spec in your deck total. Like, so, this is... You can only have... If you're playing Maximum Belt, you get one... And you can't play any other ace spec card. Like nothing, like, so you can't include, you get one Maximum Belt and nothing else out of the rest. It's just a 1 total. Back in the day, when they did ace specs, they did like Master Ball, which I see right here. They had a computer search as an ace spec, and ace spec computer search was like, I want to say 80% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, that was the one you played, unless you had, like, very distinct reasons to do so. The only 2 I can even name, other than computer search, are Master Ball and Life Dew. Life Dew was a really, really annoying attachment that had the text, I think, if I remember it right, it was like, when the attached Pokemon was knocked out, the opponent takes 1 less prize. And, like, you only have 1 in your deck. But, like, in, like, a scenario where you can, like, keep picking it up or whatever. But, yeah, Master Ball. You get 1 perfect search if you play Master Ball. You get 1 of it. What else do we got? Hero. I'm not terribly interested in this one. Like, we just saw the Ancient Energy that, booster that has plus 60, and like, the thing is that a tool is discardable. So like, oh, Scoop Up Cyclone. That's another one. Thank you. I think that was just a Scoop Up that picked up all cards on it as well. That was playable. Again, generally though, you needed a reason to not be using computer search. You had to have a deck that like, this is so much the plan. Reboot Paw. Attach a basic energy from your discard to each future Pokemon. Oof. It's got the little, like the nozzle, like you're at the gas station. Okay. Okay, I can see this, especially the each on that. Like a way, like a mid-game way of recovering and making sure you have like energy on your squad. Prime Catcher, this one we saw out of our opponent, and this one is wildly strong. This is Gust of Wind plus a switch. Like, you're forced to do both. But, like, you know, big escape rope, even escape rope ain't around anymore. Like, I can see this being a super one for, like, having it as a default. That's really good. What's the Awakening Drum? Okay. This could be a lot of draw in a deck around this that also is ancient typed. Okay. Yeah. Prime Catcher, Reboot Pod. We saw Maximum Belt, which is 50 more damage against an EX. And then Neo, Upper Energy. Neo, Invisible. As long as this is attached to a Pokemon and provides one color, sure. If this is on a Stage 2 Pokemon, double every color energy. Okay. That's tough. That's strong. Like, you need to be on a Stage 2 evolution. It doesn't call it non-EX. But it's hard to, like... So, when you used to play a deck with double colorless energy and variants on double colorless energy, you would plan your deck around the fact that double colorless energy was your main attachment, and be playing, like, Pokemon that needed 2 energy to make an attack. A old example of this would be, like, a Night March deck way back in the day, where a lot of all the Night March attackers had, like, double colorless energy requirements. Or at least the ones that you played did. Or like something like that, where you had like double colorless as your main plan, but you had 4 of that in your deck, and you could rely on like finding that with all your like consistency pieces in your card draw. This being a one of means it's really hard to plan around. Like planning around drawing 5 cards because you control ancients, like that's easy. Planning around like a double energy that like because you need to build your deck with a Pokemon who can take use of this. Not that this is bad, mind you, it's just that that's, like, difficult to rely on. Especially, like, say this is prized. Ooh, you know? Alright. Heal all damage from one of your Pokemon that has 30 HP or less. Thanks, Bianca. Good to see you here, Bianca. I'm not sure what you're doing here in Paldea, but, you know... I'm a huge fan of Black-White. That's like one of my favorites. So like Black-White characters showing back up. Sure. Box order. Search your deck for 2 item cards, reveal them, put in your hand, and your Huh. Uh-huh. Huh. That's dangerous. Again, as I mentioned with like when we were looking at Noctowl, there's a lot of ways to like You can judge or Iono or whatever and, like, get rid of them. But if you can't attack, if you play this on turn 1, search 2 items is wildly strong. Search 1 item is wildly strong. I play supporters that search 1 item and another card. Like, you know. Buddy Poffin. This is not VIP pass, but it's pretty VIP pass, you know? Oh, I love Cypher Maniac. This card is, like, good, too. Especially, like, say you have Bibarel or something like that. Bibarel, Mew-EX, I'm trying to think of some of the others. Even just like the dogs that have draw 1 card if they're interactive. Like all of a sudden this becomes not just Vamp Tutor, but like actual Tutor, and so they're like usable on the turn afterwards. We saw how our opponent used this to pretty good effect. And also again, love the Cypher Maniac look. Good. Oh, Harry. Sure. Okay. That's fine. Like, discard is something that they very, very heavily had to, like, rein in Pokemon. Because there was an era where they set up, like, initial discard effects from, like, supporters and things so powerful that there were like a pile of, there were rules changes basically around it so that you couldn't play Delinquent on turn 1. Part of the supporter change is so that you don't play Colress, or sorry, not Colress, play Getsis on turn 1 and win the game instantly. Getsis from original Black-White sets was like, look at your opponent's hand, discard all item cards, and then draw a card for each item you discarded. And like there were games where you would play that, your opponent reveals their hand that's like Ultra Ball, Battle Compressor, and like 2 Acro Bikes or something, and they die on the spot because you put them on 1 card and it's not it's none of their pieces and you drew 5. Like, so that's been reined in a lot. Harry more on the level. Gonna beat you up. We've seen Explorer's Guidance. Yeah, Airy, part of the Team Star squad. Good squad. Full Metal Lab. Full Metal Lab. Future Booster, saw this. No Retreat plus 20. This is good. Hand Trimmer. This is cute. Each player discards to 5. This is an item. Your opponent discards first, and also like you had this as like the 6th. You're fine. As we saw, all those like cards that like tutor and draw afterwards. If a Pokemon attack that draws, this can be kind of a counterplay to it. If your deck mulligans a million times and you just like, yeah, whatever, you can draw 12 extra cards and then go back down to 5. Sure, why not? Heavy Baton. I've seen Heavy Baton around. There's a couple Pokemon that this like works really well on. As like a defensive measure, if they get knocked out, you just move back onto a new copy of them. Cape, Master Ball, Belt. Morty! Morty's hanging out here. This is similar to, oh god, what's her name? Sinna? Dragon Lady from Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire had a card very similar to this that was like, but it was draw a card for each of your opponent's Pokemon, not bench Pokemon. So you drew, I think you discarded extra on it too, but you drew a bunch. Yeah, that's her. Okay, Zinnia, I was right. I think it was like Zinnia's Resolve. Similar to this, if I'm remembering my cards right. Perilous Jungle. Yo, Glamora Stadium! Ooh, this puts the poison up to 10 in Glamora Stadium deck. I don't know if that's better than the retreat blocker, but you know. Nice jungle. I think the pinks. They're the pink-purple lighting. Prime Catcher, Reboot Pod. Rescue Board. Retreat cost is one less. This is a style of card we've seen a number of times where it's like a attachment that or a tool that lowers retreat cost. Sometimes with an additional effect. It's like you can retreat while asleep or something like that. Free retreat if you're at dead. We saw Salvatore as a Wally. Mist Energy. Can you... Are we... Alright, we got the 180p Mist Energy. That's fine. As long as it's attached to a Pokemon, it provides colorless, prevent all effects of attacks on this Pokemon. Existing effects are not removed, damage is not an effect. Okay. So you can't get, like, hit by anything of the text afterwards, but you take the damage. Yeah, no, that's not your stream. It's just like, we got the 180 special. Alright. So now we have the most important part of this, looking at cards. Like, because this is 162 out of 162. Very important. Because we're going over the line. And what do we get over the line but the cool art cards? Oh my god, the Seedot no! Seedot Storm. Shiftry's Wrath. Like, this, like, so there's a lot of, one of the things I love a lot about Pokemon is that there's a lot of alt arts and cool foils and stuff, so like, the basic versions of cards get to be like, not terribly expensive, whereas like, the cooler versions of them are the more expensive ones, so it's easier to get into. But on top of that, we don't just do full arts of like, the most powerful stuff. We don't just do like full art Charizard.EXE or full art, you know, we do full arts of like other cards too that are like, yeah, here's the Shiftry. Maybe you want to build around about it's enrichment for them. They love it. They love being in the tornado. But like they do alt arts of even like odd basics that you might not like, that aren't like super competitive, or sometimes they are. Sometimes they are like chosen. You know, they have ones that are like full arts because they're like, hey, here's a card that is going to be playable. But I really love full arts that are just like, yeah, here's like, because every Pokemon is somebody's favorite Pokemon, and getting to have like the cool full art Shiftry like this, hell yeah. Like this. See, this is a perfect example. Oh my god. It's Grotle. Here's the stage 1 of an evolution. This is the least important Pokemon in the deck, because like you can rare candy past Grotle. It might not even be the Grotle you play if there's another Grotle that's has more interesting effects, since these attacks are nothing. But the art, it's so beautiful. You know, Grotle's helping out the barrels. We're making a path. We're on an adventure. Like that's so good. Like, the cards don't need to be, like, obviously we have alt arts of, like, the some powerful trainers and cool Pokemon, but also cool Pokemon. Holy smokes. Oh my god. That's an incredible piece. You know, the deerling that changes over the seasons. We got the autumn, we got the winter, we got the oh, do we actually, are we gonna have like a, Oh, we are. Perfect. I was saying we don't have all the seasons here. And yeah, here we have the 4 seasons Sawsbuck. Just incredible. Like, you know, we're back to the autumn again, but it's all darker, like autumn. They're looking back. This sort of stuff is just so good. Like, just for, you know, like, here's this really cool Sawsbuck and Deerling. I don't know if Sawsbuck is playable for just Stadium Turbo control. I don't know what stadiums exist for that. I don't care. Very cool. Alright, who's next? Oh my god. Cat in the books. Look at the cat in the books. The most cat sitting. Like, look, I'm sitting on top of the books. I don't care. I'm behind the books. Nobody's gonna stop me. This is like all the like Lytton books, Lytton art. The shelf of I Love My Cat. The Incineroar figure over here. They also have a Meowth. And like they have a fish. What are the name of these things? Not Diorama. The cat hangs off these all the time. So good. Again, God, what a... And there's a cat tower over here that the cats definitely are not on. They're on the bookshelf. The cats are... And Lytton does not go on the tower. Lytton goes on the bookshelf. Bookshelf is for cats. Ooh. What a perfect Snom. It looks so toy, yeah. Like so squishy. Just hanging off the tree in the winter. What a good Snom. Yeah. Again, these are... I live for these full arts. These are so what I'm here for. Oh my god, they made a Charjabug! Yes! So, Charjabug is the Pokemon that, so we use, this is in between Vikavolt, and Vikavolt, as a stage 2, cares about Charjabugs on the bench. It does damage, like, plus damage for each Charjabug on the bench. And Charjabug, so, Charjabug doesn't really do anything as a card. It's not like the Metang, where it's like you're building towards, but you need them. And so now we don't have a Grubbin, we don't have a maybe have a Vikavolt, but we have a Charjabug, and it's just, it's hanging out on the table as we're out camping, just having a nice cold drink, and we have the radio and the lantern, and the thermos, or the pot there. Thanks, Charjabug. What a good bug. Oh. The Bronzor looking in the Bronzor mirror and seeing the Bronzor within. The fable of the mirror breaker. I do, with the way that the Vikavolt deck is set up, I don't expect it to be like a tier breaker. It's just like a fun bit you can set up. It does big damage. It's like, if you have 3 Charjabugs and a Vikavolt, I think you one-shot literally anything if you're that set up. But like, staying that setup is the hard part, because you have to keep 3 Charjabugs on the bench. We got the history, like little bits. Again, we don't have full art. We don't have a full art Bronzong. We just have a Bronzor. Oh my god. Relaxo. Summon Relaxo from the summoning gate. Just hanging out at the beach, absorbing. The kids out here. Very cute. Random Quest is pretty cool. Top 8, play any Pokemon. Doesn't say basic, just anything you find in top 8 you can throw on the bench. Brain Shake. Wiggle, wiggle. Oh. Look at the... So tiny. They're so tiny. They got the mini drain for 10. Just, like, I love the water, you know, like on the bird bath going up here. Pick a peg for scale. We have a scale bird, but scale bird in the other direction, right? Usually when you have a scale bird, scale birds are a thing where like you have a Godzilla and you have a scale bird to show how big Godzilla is versus the scale bird. This is the other side where the scale bird is gigantic. So cute. Look at all the friends in this one. You know, like Shelder hanging out down here. This is a pretty neat Relicanth. I like. It only gives attacks, not abilities, so it can't work with a Metang. You have to have like a pretty specific attack you're pulling from like your stage 1 or basic, like for this to be cool. But in the very specific instance where you have like a cool attack to pull out, like A+, you know, nothing does what Relicanth can. Has the memories. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, look at the crew. So, don't just look at the Excadrill here. Look at the Excadrill up here. Did you catch this Excadrill hanging out up top? What about the one down here? Just having a... Yeah, sitting around having a snack. What about sleepy Excadrill? Just, we're on break. You want a chip? Just eating a chip. I love, like, the mouth. Like, I love the like, crew. Actually, I think that's a bread, not a chip. It was out of bag, so I thought it was a chip. But, like, we're digging a tunnel. We got the lights. We got the Excadrill up top. Oh, this is so cute. I love the story of of like just seeing the crew. There's 4 Excadrills for the 4 crew here. Excellent. Perfect. These are perfect. Oh my god. So, like, we have, you know, Mudsdale launching the hay on here. And then a little tiny Mudbray trying to launch one too. It's okay. You'll get there. It's fine. All the hay bales in the back here. Windmill. Just build up to the big cart. Another Mudsdale on the cart. Ooh. This is cool. The sneaky Arbok up in the trees coming to get you. Like, love the very, like, you know, the night here. Hella poisoned. Yeah, the angle of the branch conveys the movement. This is Ghost Squad. Ghost Squad is out on the prowl at the night. It's the witching hour, and all the ghosts are out. They have the mysterious beam. The ghastly sees you. You just gotta let them go. There's pranks to be had. Yeah, Meowth hiding down here. Has been noticed. Impressive to see how good this art is while the card stays legible. They've gotten so much better at that. There's still some foiling and some of the full arts on EXs that I think aren't terribly legible, but like these do a good job of with the outlining of like staying legible most of the time. They've gotten a lot better. That's really nice to. Oh! The Minnesota Metagross. This one's so good. Metagross are helping. Not only are they plowing the street, they are also building giant snowman. I love this one so much. They're in the polar biome in the DLC. Nice, nice. I've not yet played the DLC stuff. I've yet to play Disc and Hex and Disc plus Hex. Love them. Metagross is my favorite Pokemon by a lot, and like I have others that are that are in my favorites: Melodic, Volcarona, Ceruledge, Clodsire, like even across like multiple different generations and different eras. But Metagross is still love you, Metagross. Whoa. Melton trying to jump up there onto the forge. Look at all the little. Oh my goodness, there's so many of them. There's like welding going on up here, and like the Meltons want in. They're trying so hard to get up there. They got a little tiny ladder, little step ladder. They're gonna get there. They're gonna do it. Look at tongue. The little blue tongue. Touch the ice cream too much. We got the little toy robot. We got all these. Like, do we make all these for the like? I mean, we have all the like drawings of little dessert treats. Cute. Okay, you gotta tag yourself in this one. Determined Chatot. Chatot sitting on the line up here. Chatot stealing as many socks as possible. And yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got our Clef. We got notes. That's so cute. What a choice. Like literal sheet music. The socks are like a rest. Yeah, these are notes with like a little, a rest or and such in there on the different clefs. Well, the same clef. This plays like one of Tunovsky's songs, I think. This is how you like play that, right? You let a bunch of Chatots go out there. Cute. Very good. get full arts like this. It's so good. Out, out. Everything's falling over. We gotta cleaning up. We got the coffee. It fell over. No, the substitute doll. I love substitute doll. Do they make? They have to have made substitute doll, right? Like you could just buy like a 6-inch substitute plushie. This looks bigger than 6-inch. I think it's like 12-inch plushie. Ball yarn. Friends with that one real. Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh, and it's clean now. Yeah. There's a massive substitute. We gotta buy him. Meryl's got the ball of yarn. We got some Pokeball. Top row is Chowdot's cry. Bottom row is dun 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 dun. That's so good. We cleaned up. That's good. Ooh. Trampa 2. It's time for adventure. Trampa will take you to the bus stop. Trampa will take you to the park. Trampa will take you to the library. There's 5 1/4 inch plushie substitute, 15 1/2 inch plushie substitute, and 25 inch plushie substitute. Okay. The first 2 I expected, the third one I didn't. Yeah, Raging Cannon is that if you have like a scratch, Drampa will find the bully and will bully the bully. Dun dun! It's big. I got the EX with the bold outline. Never-ending Drampa story, yeah. I like the bold outline on these. I think we see a lot of EXs in like style like this if we keep going. Are we gonna see kind of another? Yeah. These are sets of like, so EXs get a lot of alt arts. You tend to get like main EX, alt art EX, second alt art EX on them. Like that's just how they end up working. Incineroar. And these are all sharing, like, we've got the bold outline style with the ancient background in full rather than half. Full ancient background rather than half. There's your C's. Ah, the Wug Trio. Yep. Bold outline Iron Crown with the sort of like eyes. Iron Boulder. Gengar. This is a good face. Good Gengar face. Ninetales EX in that style. Nice. Yeah. For a graph. The Caesar. This is a good angle. Like this angle on the Caesar. I think we've seen this Raging Bolt because this is the like promo one that's with the deck. Big mustache. Ooh, and then we're in full art trainers. Okay. Talking about other full arts that exist. EX is generally like EX, foil EX, bigger foil EX, so we get a lot of those. Supporters. Supporters across the board just get alt arts because like the characters are some of the like, you know, really cool, you know, love to have a card for your favorite character, right? And you get like a full art, cool art version of this, or like maybe we get one for Monty in a bit. Though these can be some of the most expensive cards out of the set, which is nice because generally supporters are just uncommons. I think almost exclusively. They sit at the uncommon slot, which makes them not very expensive. But if you want like your cool Bianca's Devotion, I love the smile on Cypher Maniac here. They got the little wobbly. Yeah, because especially like if you have your favorite games, you probably have your favorite characters or trainers from those games. You know, the gym leaders who you think are great, or your different cast members, or your Elite Four trainers, or all those different like characters. And you know, in Scarvi you have the gym leaders, you have the teachers, you have the Team Star members, and then you have like your friend group characters as well. You know, and all of those are characters that's very easy to get attached to. Airy here. They've done more, like, in general, like, it used to be that the base trainer cards were, like, very much base art pasted on a screenshot sort of thing. And then the alt arts were the cool ones. Alt arts is still the cool ones, but... Forest Guidance, full art. Ooh. We do get a Morty out in the midnight. Nice. This one's good. That's good. And here's our third set of EX, as I mentioned. Now these are like full alt art rather than like all of them being the outline style. This is like a third set of different art. We got our jumping iron leaves. In this very like future landscape, very twisted, very... This crown is like 150 right now because the deck that runs it around, the full art crown is like 150 right now because the deck that runs it runs 4. Right, because again, the super cool alt art versions are this is where the expensive cards live. You want iron leaves, you know, fine, but like, yo, look at gouging fire here. This is a nice one. We'll get to see a crown here in a moment when we get through these. And the normal ones are still like $6. Great. That's perfect. That's exactly what I feel like I'd want, like the expensive card you get 4 of for your deck is $10 and you get 4 of them and you're cool and your deck runs you like $50 or whatever and you're good. Maybe like 50 to 100. And then like if you want the cool versions of everything, then you have options for them too. Because like it's not just like the main set EX, there's the bold EX and then this one as well on some of these. Just in the tree. Out by the waterfall. Yeah, this crown. Ooh, love. We were looking at this earlier, but I wasn't really looking at the like actual setup on this. This like moon with the these really beautiful trees. Uh-huh. The boulder. Tall. Love the thunderclouds going with this one, and the tall. This is so tall. Giraffe big. I wonder how the foiling on these looks in paper. Like, I know they do different kind of sets on this. So, like, I wonder what these actually like physically look like. Because even in an image, it's going to be hard to kind of see what the foil looks like on these. No, we have a third Bianca. Of course. Muna. After a long day of research. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. Now we're talking. That's a cool full art. Again, like doing like multiple different versions. So again, like if you're playing these cards in a deck, it's like, but no, you can have the like you can super get some cool ones for collecting or for playing. Every Harry card is more angry than the last. Oh my goodness. Morty just hanging out, having a coffee. Gengar in a hole, in a shadow hole, playing with a Pidgey. That's good. It's cool having like, you know, we've got Aerie from Scarvi, but also having Bianca and having Morty, like, you know, giving the older characters bits too, because it's like, okay, we got a lot of cast members from all sorts of different games. Whew. Oh my god, look at the like the Gen 1, like there's a Tauros, I think that's the Pidgey, the Rhydon, the Clefairy, like the different Gen 1 like little Pokemon. Oh. Yeah, pixel art embroidery. Raichu heading out. Gotta go to work. So much detail on the house here. Palm, the palm mug. Yeah, these alt arts just killer. Every one of these killer. Oh my god, we got another Iron Leafs. Gold. 4th variant. It's time for gold. Self-tours around the world. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is the bold. So this is bold variant, but bold gold. Ooh, I like the way that makes the bold, the outlining, like blend into the background here. Just look at that. Look on Iron Crown. Iron Boulder. I'm gonna guess the gold set is probably our last one. Yep, we're back to Scyther. Oh my god. I cannot believe how good, like, the alt art set stuff down here is. And, like, on top of that, like the alt arts that they do on every scale are just so cool. And that's, like, not even to say, like, that's, we're talking about the alt arts, but, like, you know, we spend a ton of time going through, like, the main set arts, and it's like, there are so many in here that I can just grab at random and find, like, just incredible choices for our arts, you know? Like, it isn't just the, like, expensive cards that have these cool choices on them. It's sometimes it's C-Dot. You know? Sometimes it's a tiny little C-Dot. Well, this seems cool. You can kind of see, like, some of the typing there's more of in the set. There's, like, you know, 4 lines of grass, but only, like, 2 lines of fire, 2 lines of water, 2 lines of electric, 4 lines of psychic, 3 lines of fighting, 2 lines of dark, 2 lines of... line and a half of dark, line and a half of steel, then a couple dragons, then a lot of colorless stuff. So, like, different sets have their own different balances to them. Yeah. Yeah, if you ever want to have a fun time, you can just look at Pokemon. You can just do that. So you can just be like, you know what I want to do? I want to look at a Pokemon. And I want to see what a Jigglypuff looks like. Damn. You can just do it. You can just look at a Jigglypuff. So, all of these have so many. Oh my god, there's so many alt arts in this one here. I have one of these psychic energies? Huh. Install this client and tire to look at cards? Yeah. You don't have to, like, play. You can do that too, I suppose, if you want to, like, play the game. But, like, if you just want to look at cards and see, like, a big air balloon, I suppose. I don't know what to do. You can probably find other things to look at big air balloons on. That's probably not the one you're looking for. But, like, we had this Charmander we looked at before. And, one thing we didn't see with the Charmander is that this is the Charmeleon with the alternate viewpoint. Like, I love these. The, like, paired ones are so much. There's a ton in here. I'm not gonna go through these right now because I'll be here forever. And so I'd love to be here forever. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I want to do more. Like, I just want to look at more Pokemon cards and, like, I don't know. You might see me continuing to do this at some point, but, like, I started streaming at 2 and it's currently 8 and I'm hungry. So we can no longer look at Pokemon together. We'll be able to do this another time, but for now, I'm gonna pull up that Ninetales. I mean, the Fox was talking about a Ninetales. I'm gonna at least pull it up. Where you at? Talking about the bold. This one. Do we have bold and gold, or we just have bold? No gold. But yeah, these are so much. So anyway, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you all for joining. I'm very happy that you were here to join for a little bit of game and then a lot of card talking. I will do this again. That is a threat. We will look at more Pokemon. So anyway, thank you very much for joining. If you want to catch more, you can always follow. See when I go live. It tends to be 7 Central on weekdays and 2 Central on Sunday. That's probably it will be. Yeah, glad to have you all. But yeah, follow, subscribe, hang out, have a good time. I'm gonna go grab dinner. Please enjoy Pokemon. Let's have a blast. Good night, everybody.